Good morning, Barbs. It is Saturday, and of course, it is not morning because I always lie with these things. Yesterday, I sat for the final exam of one of my favorite classes I ever had in my career. We studied the act of communication in itself. We read Georges Borges' story, El Aleph, the Aleph. I'm gonna leave a link of the story in the doobly-doo both in Spanish and in English. It's basically about this thing called the Aleph, which is like a shiny, huge ball of, stuff, where you can see everything. Like, you look into the Aleph and you see everything that is going on in the universe. So Borges writes this story, and he writes this with some sort of, an anguished feeling. Here begins my despair as a writer. All language is a set of symbols whose use among its speakers assumes a shared past. How, then, can I translate into words the limitless Aleph, which my floundering mind can scarcely encompass? What my eyes beheld was simultaneous, but what I shall now write will be successive, because language is successive. This really is a problem not only if you're looking at the Aleph, this is a problem if you're looking at anything. So you see this chair, right, the one that I'm sitting in right now, and you can see it higher or lower, or, from the right, or from the left, or from down, or from up, and you can see it from infinite points of view, because space is infinite, and so I could put the camera in billion light years away. And so this chair is an Aleph in itself. Everything is an Aleph in itself if we think about it this way. And so the words that I use to describe it will always fall short. The word chair is a finite word, and it's not only finite, but it's random. I mean, the fact that we chose those letters to form that word, and that word to refer to that concept of the chair, of the place where I am sitting on right now, that is completely random. Stephen Millhauser was also worried about that, and I'm going to read to you an extract from his story, History of a Disturbance. I'm going to leave that in the doobly-doo. This History of a Disturbance is about a man who is worried because he's suddenly annoyed by the use of words. And so he starts getting worried about how words are not enough to explain anything, and not only are they not enough, but they betray the essence of what they're trying to say. Words. Had I ever listened to them before? Words like crackles of cellophane, words like sluggish fat flies buzzing on my sunny windowsills. The simplest remark began to seem suspect, a riddle, not devoid of meaning, but with a vague haze of meaning that grew hazier as I tried to clutch it. So, Millhauser has a point, I can't disagree with him, and he also has a point when he says, it seemed to me that the single word love was trying to compress within itself a multitude of meanings, was trying to make many precise and separate feelings and crush them into a single mushy mass, which I was being asked to hold in my hands like a big sticky ball. The word itself is much smaller than what it's trying to tell you, so yes, words do betray the essence of what we're saying. Yes, words are finite, they are random, they are, they have no any sort of explanation, and they are trying to explain things that are much bigger than them. But I don't think that that's despairing, because I think that that's where the work of the good communicator comes in. If I was able to share everything that I wanted to say just by putting it in front of you, then what use would my word have? Anybody could do that. The fact that words are not perfect makes them more impressive and not less. It's not about words not being enough, it's about how amazing it is that words are enough, because words do make us feel things. Millhauser in the story has a great description of the main character's girlfriend, and he's just watching her in the summer, just preparing a picnic, and he says, "You are humming in the kitchen, you are wearing those jeans I like, the ones with the left back pocket torn off and the top of your bathing suit. I watched as you sliced a sandwich exactly in half." And he chose to describe something so random as somebody cutting a sandwich in half, right? And I think that that's brilliant. That's where the work of the good communicator lies, in having to choose the words to explain something to you. So it's not about words not being enough. It's about knowing that while words are not enough, we still have the power to make out of this, powerless raw material something that is really wonderful and amazing. The Millhauser story is just, it blows my mind. It's just like feelings everywhere. So words are not perfect, and that makes them all the more wonderful. If anyone has any ideas, please leave them in the comments, even though we have 5 viewers. 5 comments would still be fantastic, or we can continue discussing this, because this is something that is really interesting. I hope my words were enough today.